Hi sweet friends, and welcome to 2023 Porch refresh. Guys, this is just neglect and mistreatment. The porch is absolutely horrible. Oakley's been digging. The grass is growing. The wind has blown things over. Things didn't survive too well for the winter freeze, and so we've got a lot of work to do. One thing that is beautiful are these. Look at those going. Today's project is to spray the house with this Clorox. You see the green algae that's growing on it, and so I'm going to spray it down. It is a vinyl siding, and the best way to get it off is just spray it with Clorox, and then tomorrow I'll rinse it with the water hose and it'll all be white. And we're gonna get that going now. Plants seem to be thriving. This one's starting to put out some new growth. This one here I thought was a complete loss from the freeze, and you see a lot of green there. This was one that I picked up this past summer and paid 20 bucks for it, so it looks promising. Mr. Pencil Cactus is just loving his life. He's doing so good. These succulents are just growing bountifully, so let's get this refresh started, guys. This is probably the worst, where it was at the worst, and you can see within an hour it's already getting it ate up. All that's just grass from me cutting the yard and that, but it's a huge improvement. Tomorrow I'll come back with the water hose and rinse it all off, and it should be good. I used about 1 gallon, probably a quarter of the second gallon to go all the way around the house, and then I probably used another quarter gallon, and I came back in some of these tougher spots. I put another spray. I sprayed them down again. So it's easy. It's easier than pressure washing. I get from my co-worker. He likes to dig holes so he can lay in there. And it's a pretty good size hole. The baby frog. There's co-worker laying in another hole he dug. But it's only a hole big enough for his rumpa-dump-dump. Everything that's normally against the house moved over. I don't want to get the bleach on my plants, so I just moved everything to the other side of the porch. All right, this is a wrap for day one. You know, we gotta do this in stages. So day one and day two is going to be bleaching the house and then washing it down. After 24 hours, it's real hard to get that yellow off the bottom. Almost impossible. It's not going to come off really good, but all the way along the house will. We'll get out the water hose and get it washed down. Spots here on this end of the house that I didn't get sprayed. For some reason, I missed this area, so I'm going to spray it and we'll wash this off tomorrow. So much better. Just doesn't take but a few minutes to rinse it off. Doesn't take very long to get it bleached either. And is a heck of a lot faster than pressure washing. Got the front of the porch all washed and the front of the rest of the house as well. I got my plants taken off of the plant stands. This plant stand's taken apart. Got the plants watered. Next project is to wash down these boards. These boards are what I use to make my shelves for all my plants. I have this little soft bristle brush that we wash the car with and some soapy water, and I'm just going to wash them down. It's supposed to rain in the next couple of days, and so I'm going to put these in the garage after I wash them, let them dry. That way I can paint them. I can paint inside if it does rain, and I won't lose much time on my porch. My porch refresh. Got them all washed and rinsed off front and back. I'm gonna let them dry here for a few minutes before I take them to the garage. But I'm gonna get my water hose put away. This chick has had it. So this is gonna be the end of day 2. I have my little setup here. I have my sawhorses. I'll paint on top of my sawhorses, and then I will move the painted piece over here to this larger table. I'm going to be using this Sherwin-Williams exterior paint. When I bought it a year and a half ago or a year ago or so, it was $54.98. It's called Tricorn Black. This is an exterior paint in the satin. I'm going to put this on it. Take the lid off and put this on it. This thing is amazing for painting projects. And I always wear a pair of these little Dollar Tree vinyl gloves. Just keeps my hands nice and clean. Next up is to give the door a fresh coat of paint in the same Tricorn Black color. Day 5 on the porch, a refresh. So this is day 4 and day 5, because on day 4 I put the first coat on the other side of each one of the shelves, and I put the first coat on this. So today I put a second coat on each one of the shelves and on this little shelving unit. Got the grass cut. It's looking very pretty, very full. To get the second coat of paint here on the door, as well as we got the new light fixture hung. My daughter's dad came and hung that for me. Here it is. Picked it up at the Home Depot. Here's the old one we had. It's about 25 years old. It's had it, and it was time to get a new one. Next up, I just want to pick up the porch a little bit, and it's going to be like this for about 2 weeks, and so I just want to get it cleaned up a little bit, make it look a little nicer than what it does right now, and it'll be like that for about 2 weeks while I'm gone. And when I get home, we'll pick up right back where we left off. The shelves, they have been painted 2 times on both sides, and I have added a clear coat. Got the porch cleaned up a little bit. Got all the plants put over here. So I'm gonna get everything watered and call it in. I'm now back from vacation. So today is day 6 of the porch refresh, and I want to kick off today by doing some repotting. For years I've used a terracotta color set of pots. This year I want to do gray, and so I have these pots that I've been collecting. These came from the Dollar Tree several years ago, the big ones. Those are kind of brown, but they might work. I'm not sure if I need them. I have these from the Dollar Tree, and then I have these that I got at dirt cheap, but they are from Target. And here is all my potting soil. The 2 smaller bags here from last year. The topsoil I've had for several years, but I'm going to use it down in the bottom of some of the bigger pots just to help stretch. The good potting soil and the 2 big bags are ones that I got this year. I also have this tape, which you use for when you do sheetrock, and I use this to cover up the drain holes on each one of my pots. This tree limb that I've actually got a replacement for this year, and new macrame. So that's going to be the first things that I repot. I have 5 macrames that I ordered. I have 1 macrame that we picked up at Dirt Cheap. So 5 white pots, which will be these. And then the one from Dirt Cheap, it'll only hold a small one, so I'm going to put this ivy in there. I got to get all these plants cleaned up, and I'm going to get them repotted. One thing I didn't say is that each of the pots, I popped out the water plug. I put a piece of this in there, and then this little pot, I poked out the drain holes on it and put little pieces. And to do that, I just used one of these Phillip head screwdrivers and a hammer just to pop them out. I'm wrapping up day 6 kind of early. My daughter's on her way with supper, so I wanted to get things wrapped up before she gets here. I did get 5 plants repotted, and so just a little bit of progress, but progress nonetheless. This morning I ran to a Lowe's. I spent $73.60. They had their large hanging ferns, 2 for $24. I needed a new multi-purpose sprayer for some weed spraying. That was $16.98. I have 2 large pots that I want to spray paint. They had these 2 Krylon products on clearance for $2.69. And then in the clearance plant section, they had some succulents. These 2 larger ones, which were originally $6.98, were on clearance for $3.99. The smaller ones, $3.49. And the baby ones were $2.99. I am starting at day number 7. I have all the plants ready to go up in this area. I've already push mowed out there in that little area. I have the dolly ready to haul that big pot to the burn pile. I'm gonna dump all of its contents out. It's full of ants and I'm not gonna mess with it. So I'm just gonna dump the whole thing in the burn pile and start fresh there. I had purchased this pothos at Walmart a couple of weeks ago for $9.96, and I had a fern that only had a little section that was living, so I think I'm going to use this hanging basket for the pothos. And what was living in this pot was this fern, and it was just a little bit alive, so I cut it, and it fits in the little thing, so it'll be part of my hanging plants. I say that pot was full, I mean that pot was slam full to the top with ants. Can y'all see all that? Holy cannoli. I got everything on the back side here for the porch weed-eated. I know one thing, I ain't cut out for that weed eater. That thing about does me in, but I got it all done. Got on my safety boots. Is quite a pile of weeds. Look at him. This little area is my junk garden area. So I want to move everything out, get it cleaned up, get the weeds sprayed, and get it ready for some new plants. A little quick recap for day 7. I got all of this weeded, the bigger stuff weeded and sprayed. Cleared everything out so I could do that. Been spray painting these bigger white planters so that I can paint them gray. I was just painting them gray and it was taking too much paint, so I went to my spray paint stash and I had 2 things of white. So I've been working on building the color up on those using the white, and then I can spray them with the gray. All of this has been weeded by hand, and then sprayed all out there. Just got everything cleaned up today. I didn't get any planting done per se, but I did get a lot done. These are all ready to be repotted. I've run out of time though. Today is day 8. We got some bad weather in last night. It is super windy today, but the weather, the temperature is awesome. So I want to get a lot done today and just take full advantage of this cooler weather. I'm working on repotting some of my bigger plants, like that fern right there. So this is the other one, and completely root bound. When I was at Walmart, I bought this serrated edge knife. It was less than $3. It was just a cheap one. I knew I wanted a cheap one because I was going to be using it for plants. I literally cut the bottom of this fern off right here, and I'm taking it out of these older containers. These were the big ones that we picked up several years ago at Dollar Tree for $1, and I had picked up some gray ones as well. So I am switching to the gray ones. The terracotta color ones have had it, but this is how I'm doing it. I don't know if they're gonna live or die. If they die, well, you know, for $12 I can go buy more. but hopefully this will revive them and they'll be healthy again. I've been getting quite a bit done, and right now I am working on my chairs. And so I made me a little bucket of soapy water. I have this soft brush, and I just turn the chairs upside down and I clean them from the underneath side, and then I'll turn them upright and clean them on the top. And then I'll let them sit in the sun to air dry. I'm just gonna take this root bound fern. I just took the hanger off of it, and I'm gonna repot it. This one looked just like it. They were hanging together, and I got it all cleaned up. Got some fresh soil put in it, got it trimmed up, and so I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. You can see it's just in horrible shape. Half of it's dead, or a quarter of it's dead, and so we're gonna get this all trimmed up and cleaned. Everything that I cut off of it, the bottom, the dead part, most of it's dead, and here's what I'm left with. So I'm gonna get this put in the original pot, get the hanger back on it, get it set in its place. They're back in their place, same place they were last year. So if you've been a friend of the channel for a year, you've seen these many times, and I guess the worst that can happen is they don't make it. But I did cut them back a whole lot and trimmed them, and I have heard that ferns are very forgiving, and so I have high hopes that these guys will be as good as new in no time. I'm going to go for the impossible this time. I'm going to take these two small pieces that have some life in them and put them in this pot. This pot we forgot about, and so it completely froze during the freeze this past year. We didn't get it covered up. So I'm going to get all that out of it and try to turn these two pieces into one beautiful fern. Here's everything that's going in the trash. Here's what I'm keeping. I think I should be able to put these two together, give them some fertilizer and some water and some good soil, and I think they will be good. It's a new spot. And here's Supervisor. Oakley. Supervisor. Of course, he's taking a nap. He's tired. He's always resting. But we'll keep an eye on this, see how it goes. Turning the two little pieces into one pot. 9 hours, and I have gotten so much done today. I want to show y'all everything, but these are the last 5 plants that need to be repotted. Everything else has been repotted. Things are going back in their homes. Oh my goodness. All the succulents have been repotted. We're just making all kinds of progress around here. Today is day 9. I've been out here for about 3 hours already, and I've been working, doing just some miscellaneous items, but I've been working on my junk garden side of my porch. I got all my, well, their Supervisor, you guessed it, he's already napping, but I got all of my edging put back up. I got my old sewing machine base leveled and put back in place. I've already gotten my pots painted, and I got the yard. We had a really bad storm come through. There was a lot of limbs down, and I made 3 trips with the lawnmower hauling limbs to the back to the burn pile. So we've gotten quite a bit done, and still got quite a bit left to do. Day 9 has come to an end, and I've gotten a lot done. I don't really want to show y'all everything. I want to wait for the grand reveal. But if you know my porch, if you're familiar, I have 3 sets of these shelves. I did get them all put together. They don't have their plants where they're going. They're not decorated yet, but they are all put together. I did a lot of potting today and arranging. I have a few things over here that I've just painted. And so I'm going to wrap things up, rest for a little bit, and get things ready for the work week. A beautiful day in South Texas. Day 10 on the Porch Refresh. we are getting a lot done. Been out here for about an hour this morning. I got everything potted that's going to get potted. So I'm going to get my table washed off. I got these plants repotted. I've narrowed down my supplies to these few things. I'm almost out of potting soil. I never thought I would use that. I had 2 of these huge bags and 2 smaller bags. So I have done a lot of repotting this year. Things that I think I might use on the porch this year. Some things are the same and some things are different from previous years. We got these cute little snails at the thrift store. I got this little Avon gardener. Some new solar lights from Temu. A bunch of little knickknacks that I pick up when I see them at the thrift store. Some Dollar Tree lights, some bumblebee items. This little garden angel. I painted this little turtle. He used to be gold, now he's white. I have this Opal House macrame that we got it dirt cheap. This bird cage, a relax sign. I have my last of my 2-pack of Hearth and Hand doormats. I used the last one, the other one last year, and now I have another brand new one ready to go. When my neighbors moved out from next door, I got this little bench, painted it black. I have a perfect plant that I'm going to put on that. Right here are all the pots from the plants that I repotted. That is a lot of repotting, guys. That took me a long time to get all those things repotted. But for today, I think I'm going to put these solar lights out, let them charge, and tomorrow I will decorate. I thought I would get it done today, but it's not going to happen. It's getting late and the mosquitoes are really bad. So I'm going to just concentrate on getting these lights put out, and tomorrow I can finish decorating. One of the things that I forgot to share with y'all, which is like my favorite, is this Corinthian bell hand-tuned wind chime. My co-workers bought me this when my mother passed away. They are hand-tuned. This one is in the scale of C. It is absolutely amazing. Sounds beautiful. I've had it. Just barely got it hung up, and oh my goodness, it sounds amazing. If I have been getting all my days correct, today is day 11 of the Porch Refresh, and it is finished, guys. I have just spent the past about an hour getting everything decorated and fixed just so. And so now I am ready to give y'all a full tour of my porch. Here's a full view of my front porch. Start the porch tour here on these shelves. These are always full of cactuses or succulents. This area gets full sun most of the day, and so I just have all my succulents here. They seem to thrive in this area. A little Dollar Tree garden angel, some succulents that I'm saved from certain death, I'm sure. This is a little ceiling fan globe that I put a Dollar Tree solar light on. A bird from Target. A little vintage planter. Some more planters down here. Vintage. The green one over here is vintage. Some Target pots. Some HEB pots. Up here I have the chime that my co-workers got me when my mother passed away. It is absolutely beautiful. I have a macrame that we got at Target, at dirt cheap from Target, with a pothos in it. I have created a little seating area. My rocking chair, a vintage chair that I stained several years ago. This cabinet that came from my great-great-grandparents' home. I painted it black this year. And a rug that I picked up at dirt cheap, but it came from a Target. I just have a few little knickknacks on here. Some thrift store finds and some Dollar Tree finds. The solid yellow pillow here came from Walmart, and the two other are pillowcases that I got online last year. Is this a little area? The saw right here actually has my house numbers on it, so I have it turned backwards. I have a large asparagus plant here, a cross that was made by the neighbors, my elderly neighbors. They have since passed. A Dollar Tree solar light, some lemons that I got at the thrift store, some milk glass paint, plates, some little vintage elves, or yeah, little elves, a Dollar Tree bee sign, a little metal bucket that I got at Big Lots. Did not get that at Big Lots. I got that at Dollar General, and I put garden tools on it with my Cricut. Some more plants, two more little knickknacks that I got at the thrift store, and this big lemon thing that I got at the thrift store. The garland came from dirt cheap from Target, and the little lemon wreath I got last year on clearance from the $5 section of Dollar Tree. The rugs, the black rug came from Costco, and the brown one came from Target at dirt cheap, and it is a Hearth and Hand one. I actually got two for the price of one, and so this year is a brand new one. Years ago, I found this cooler on the side of the road. I picked it up, and I've always just had sticks and randomness in it. I have a little pitchfork with a fern in it. This is the only like 3-shelf system that I have here on the porch on this end. The bird cage I picked up at the thrift store this year. I have this candelabra with some Dollar Tree solar lights. The snail is new this year. I got him at the thrift store. Some snake plants. These it came from dirt cheap from Target. Another succulent down there, a little collection of terracotta pots that were my mom's, and a Virgin Mary. Here I have a black little stool that I got from the neighbor when they moved out. I painted it black. This lily came from my mother's funeral. I've normally had it inside. This year I thought I would let it come outside. So I'll keep an eye on that. Down here I have a Texas shaped step and a little vintage silver thing. I don't know what that is. And a glass ball, which I believe probably came off of a lamp, but I got that at the thrift store. Has always been my favorite. I got a new stick this year, which was super exciting. The other one was really bowed. I love the macrame. I love the hanging plants. It just, I just love it. I've had it probably about 4 years now, and it just makes me happy. I have quite a few plants that outline the perimeter of the porch. Here I have a post hole digger with some ferns, another asparagus plant. I have now gotten these amazing lights from Temu. I will show those to y'all when it gets dark. Some snake plants, foxtail. Here's the center section of my porch. So just a variety of plants, some ferns, some pothos. This one is an autumn fern. I got this little black shelving unit from the thrift store this year. The only plants that I purchased were these big ferns. I got 2 of them. Oh, and I did get several succulents. And I did get this one, pothos, as well. And on this side, I usually try to keep some type of succulent or cactus over here because it just gets so hot. I do have a snake plant over here, but I'll probably end up needing to move that. And then I have some plants over here that haven't been potted because I ran out of potting soil. Outside of the perimeter of the porch, I have this large pot with these lilies. They are absolutely gorgeous. They were my grandmother's, and I just really cherish them. We have some new ones starting to bloom. Had quite a few blooms this year. I have the bottom of a old sewing machine. So if I have a plant that's kind of struggling or what, I will put it out here. And it tends to do pretty good. I have an aloe vera that I repotted this year. This was an older pot and I spray painted it black. And then here is where Oakley likes to sleep. It's kind of cool in this area. There's a large pecan tree overhead. It stays kind of cool. And this is my junk garden. I didn't get much done over here, and all those succulents did not get repotted. Like I said, I ran out of potting soil, so I will get back to those. But this is my little junk garden. As promised, I said I would come out after dark and share with y'all my lighting. The little candelabra, the ceiling fan globe. Here's another one. This is one of the firelight solar lights from Temu. I actually purchased 3 of these. Here are the other 2. There's different settings, flashing, fading in and out, but I like just the steady state myself. So there are those. And then the new solar lights from the Dollar Tree that came out this year. Last but not least is another one of the ceiling fan globe solar lights. Hope you enjoyed that tour of my porch and have enjoyed coming along with me as I redid my porch this year. If you have enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Become part of my friends here on YouTube, and I will see each of you in my next video. Bye, guys.